The goal coming early on in this time, the 13th minute. Orsic with the finish against a Chelsea side who just continue really to struggle to find their feet at the moment. Just not good enough, Craig.
No, didn't start well enough. Lost a really poor goal. Centre-halves all over the place. One attacking, another one not working together as a back three. And Fofana, who's lacking game time. And that's the other side of the coin. You know, I have to go and look at the bench, but he made changes. Right, so it was Kepa in goal. Is Kepa going to be the Champions League goalkeeper? Is the Champions League now the Carabao Cup?
I think Mendy had a little injury when he was kicked.
You're kidding me on, aren't you?
No, he was injured for this tie, but I'm not sure if it came from the kick.
There's no way that came from the kick. So anyway, you make some change. You make some changes, and lo and behold, it doesn't quite work for you. So yeah, they had a lot of possession as the game went on. And Dinamo Zagreb got a bit tired, and you thought, well, they're probably going to get the equaliser. But even with the 8 minutes injury time, no. And then he threw a few subs on. Aubameyangs had a great chance in the first half where he squared it, tried to pass it. It was unselfish or silly, whatever way you want to look at it, but it was unlike him. Maybe lacking a bit of sharpness and a bit of confidence. But yeah, I mean, they were lucky at the weekend, in my opinion, because that goal should have went the other way, or that decision. And they haven't played well again. So, yeah, I mean, he's looking for a spark that's going to start their season, and this was not it.
Then we thought it might be it, Frank. Obviously, Aubameyangs, the chance maybe to get a goal under his belt in his debut. Fofana at the back. But again, it kind of came from the same playbook of slow, boring football.
It was, Dan. I couldn't agree more about that. It was boring for 90 minutes. Well, no, 80 minutes. And suddenly, we'll say, wow, we're running out of time. You know, we have to rush now for the last 10 minutes. Why you didn't do that for 80 minutes? Well, what happened in your head? You know, well, you don't care about the tactic. The tactic is to touch the most, to make the most passes during the game. We don't care about the result. I was so upset watching that because for me it was a waste of time because we know, as you said, what is written in the playbook. What is written is we keep the ball, we go left to right, right to left, we go clean. They were almost in white today, we don't get dirty, and we don't just wait. And maybe somehow others going to have something, or Chilwell like during the weekend, and we win. But football is not like that. Football is not like that. You have a chance to score. Chelsea buys Aubameyangs. Just before Zagreb scored, he has a chance. And because he doesn't want to be selfish and want to serve and be nice to the other, doesn't shoot, where clearly as a striker, as Lewandowski, he will never give the ball. As Ronaldo, he will never give the ball. So, of course, I won't blame Aubameyangs for the loss of that game, but because what did Koulibaly and Fofana on that game, well, I was able to do that because I was an average player, but according to the statistic, those two are fantastic players, and they attack the same guy, and they let the other one go. And suddenly Fofana reacts, say, oh my God, that guy's going to go to the goal. So he drops back, but it's too late. But we are expecting so much from those talents who are on the field. I want to talk about Mason Mount, because we never talk about that guy because he's the little boy from Chelsea. But he disappeared. I'm sorry, Mason disappeared. I want to know where the guy is, because he's fantastic, a fantastic player. He's a great player. He has all the talent, but his involvement into the team is not enough, like any others. Really, any others. That was an appalling performance against a very average team, and you are capable of losing 1-0 with saying that Zagreb deserved to win on top of it.
They are boring to watch, though, aren't they? Chelsea.
They are. It's a fact. You know, Chelsea fans will get angry at us or whatever.
Well, but I mean, in the context of the money that they've spent and the money they've
spent more money than anyone else.
Correct. And please spare me the sanctions and the takeover and the problems, and no Bruce Buck and no Granit Xhaka and no Petr Cech, because I've heard all that tosh before. Right? It's nothing to do with that. Right? Players are sort of shielded from all that sort of nonsense. Even their football of the year, when he comes in and they win the Champions League, then you go to the next season, it's pedestrian at times. Yeah, there's no natural striker or Lukaku's there for a bit. But they're a pretty boring team to watch for the money that they've spent. And this was just another thing that he has to figure out. Let me go back to the goalkeeper. I just checked up on it, by the way, when you were chuntering on.
Right.
Injury doubt because of the knock to the ribs from Jared Bowen at the weekend.
There you go. There you go. See?
I mean, spare me the freaking...
Can't believe you doubted me.
You talk about going to the... And all right, he might not have played him anyway. And that's the whole point. That it's Dinamo Zagreb. We can just pitch up. We're Chelsea Football Club. I'm Thomas Tuchel. Big stars, lots of money spent. Who are these guys? Not household names. We'll just beat them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, are players tired at this time in the season? They're not the first team, and I'm not saying he was rotating, but I've actually seen teams rotating early in the season after like 3 or 4 games. The game's gone. This is sports scientists, not telling managers or players, and I'm generalising here, not just Chelsea. This is a rotation of players in big games with people telling them what might happen, not what is happening. It's doing my head in. I mean, managers coming out, listening to these people filling their heads with nonsense about, there's lots of games coming. It's a long season. Where are we? Just in September. Yeah. Let's get the goalie changed. Let's get the centre-half changed. Let's give the striker a rest. For God's sake, man. Give them a rest at Christmas, when they've bashed away at it for 3 or 4 months and they've had a World Cup and whatever. But you can't go there and just make these changes and think it's going to work. Not when you're playing in the manner in which Chelsea are playing. And it's down to him, Thomas Tuchel. The mask has slipped. The mask has slipped. Right? 20-odd points or whatever it was off the title last year with excuses. Bad start to the season, not playing well, got lucky at the weekend with decisions. Didn't deserve any luck today, and we're beaten. We'll probably get out the group, probably, but we'll need to do a damn sight better.
And these sort of performances which would frustrate me as a Chelsea fan, Don, against inferior opponents. We saw it against Leeds, we've seen it against Southampton, we saw it against Leicester to an extent, despite them getting the job done today. We saw it against Zagreb, and they've got Fulham away at the weekend, which is another one of those sides that really Chelsea should rock up, boss the game and take 3 points. But there's no way I'm putting any money on them doing that at the moment from what we've seen so far.
No, they're too easy to play against. I mean, there was a funny moment, Dan. I was doing my notes with Nigel Spackman watching the game, the Chelsea game, but the TV screen was like a mile away. So I'm watching the game, and I said to Nigel, I went, Chelsea are playing quite well, aren't they? And he looked at me like I was a madman. And he went, what? And I went, Chelsea are playing quite well. He went, you do know Chelsea are playing in white and Zagreb are in blue. And I was like, that's what's going on. Zagreb were bossing it.
Oh, good. That's the finger on the pulse. Apparently, Archie spoke to Tuchel after the game and he said it was his knee, Ben Mendy. We've kind of gone a bit of a Mendy tangent. That was what was wrong with him. Yeah, and not that. Frank, how concerned should you be from a Chelsea perspective about how easy this is going to be a fix for Tuchel to complete?
It's complicated because you don't feel any way of changes, any implication or any involvement from the players. Like they play like robots, like they don't want to take any risks. They just want to do the minimum to survive, which it's totally not we are expecting from them. We want them to pace up, put the second gear, maybe the third one, maybe go for some risk, go for something adventurous, because that's what football is. And they don't seem to be able to do so right now. So I don't know what can change in their mind, because it's totally in their head. I'm sure they can change that if they accept the fact that they can be in danger. Right now, what they do is they keep the ball, they put themselves in danger, but they feel safe.
Right.
Which is not the case, because of course we are here to say it's not what we want to see. And I'm a former Chelsea player, and I'm concerned. I love that club, but I have to say the truth. The truth is, it's far from enough what we are all seeing.
Well, Fofana was obviously a massive signing, but he had a problematic summer in his own head. There was a constant speculation about this big move. There was, I'd have to go back and look, but I think I saw quotes from Leicester and from Brendan Rodgers about he didn't either turn up or certainly didn't play in some pre-season games. Didn't make himself available, so he's obviously well behind with the fitness. And I understand you have to get them there at some point, but a Champions League opening match away from home, I'd have to question whether, don't matter if Dinamo Zagreb are perceived to be the whipping boys in the group or not, I'd have to question whether throwing somebody in who's not quite fit, who's just signed, in a game away from home when you've not started the season particularly well, is the right thing to do. I'm thinking maybe you get them in some game time off the bench and then at home against a team that you think you're probably going to boss, whether it be the Cup or the Premier League, although Chelsea are not doing that to many teams at the moment. But I just got to question throwing somebody in for their debut, as talented as he is, with such a lack of match fitness and having had the problematic summer that he's had in his own head, on, off, is it going to happen, is it not going to happen? Then you have to go away and play and perform. I don't think that was a very smart decision in the end, to be honest.
So a night to forget for Chelsea in Europe. Just a reminder what else happened in Group E. Of course, the group they were drawn in. You look at the other game that took place, and it finished 1-1 between Milan and Salzburg. Maybe surprised there. Milan took only a point away from that tie. It leaves Chelsea bottom of the table. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.